Laura asked how I wanted to be introduced this morning. I said, it's okay, I'll just introduce myself. And I think most everybody in the room knows me. I'm Susan Stocker. I'm the dean on the Ashtabula campus. I like to always start out by saying I'm a graduate of the nursing program on the Ashtabula campus. I'm very proud of that fact. And I'm also serving as the interim dean on the Geauga campus. I've been at the Geauga campus since August. So after we're done here today, I have to get to Burton to the Geauga campus for a faculty meeting. And the good news in all of that is they are starting a search for the dean of the Geauga campus. So I told them I didn't really want to be driving to the Geauga campus through another winter. So I'm hoping we have somebody in place over there prior to the snow flying, although I hear it's going to snow on Friday and Saturday. So the Profiles Breakfast Series is sponsored by Kent State Ashtabula, Leadership Ashtabula County, and the Gazette, and Growth Partnership. And I'm not sure everybody has met, but I want to introduce and ask him to stand up. Greg Myers, he's new director of Growth Partnership. Welcome, Greg. Okay. It's my pleasure this morning to give you an update on things that are happening at Kent State Ashtabula. During this academic year, our enrollment is currently 1,945 students. That is down. At one point, we had around 2,500 students on the campus. There are a variety of reasons why we find our enrollment down, but we're projecting our enrollment to be up again in the fall, up from what it was this past fall. We all know, and we can talk a little bit more about this after I'm done with my presentation, but we're an aging population here in Ashtabula County, and some of the demographic issues are affecting our enrollment. But it is also not unusual to find enrollment down on many of the campuses across the nation. So that's not just unique to Ashtabula. Our campus is about 35% male and 65% female. The average age of all students on the campus is 26. And so we're seeing a younger student population on our campus. We're seeing more traditional age high school students coming to the campus. And it might be surprising to you that 65% of our students are now full-time. I think there's kind of a perception in the community that many of our students go here part-time, they go in the evening. We actually have decreased the number of evening classes we have on the campus. The majority of our students, again, because they're the more traditional age, prefer to come, Monday through Thursday from 8 to 2. So we actually don't have any Saturday classes offered any longer because there's just not a demand for them, and the majority of our students are around during the day. 44% of our students are from Ashtabula County. The others are from out of county. We have about 140 CCP students. Some of you may know that program as post-secondary. Students who come from over 30 area high schools. And we'll talk a little bit more about CCP in a minute. We actually have students on our campus from 23 states. So we're attracting students through some of our online degree programs. Our WINE degrees are primarily online, and our physical therapist assisting program for athletic trainers draws students from across the country as well. So we're not just offering classes anymore to students in Ashtabula County. We're really attracting students from across the country. Okay, we always have to talk about money. And there, I think, is a lot of confusion in the community about where our money comes from. 65% of our funding comes from tuition and fees. 35% is coming from state subsidy. And that really has kind of flipped over the last several years in terms of, it used to be more money coming from state subsidy and less money coming from tuition, but that's kind of flipped around. To give you an example also of cuts from the state, we used to get about $1.1 million every 2 years for things to expand the campus in terms of bricks and mortar or renovate the campus. This biennium, we're getting $350,000. So it's a huge cut, and it really presents a lot of challenges in terms of especially renovations to the campus. So even though we have state in our name, we really have to act much more like a private institution. Again, our tuition for a year on the campus is about $5,600. And when you compare that to other institutions, either Ohio Publics or privates, it's really very affordable. Public two-year schools such as Tri-C, Cuyahoga Community College, or Lakeland Community College, those community colleges have the benefit of a local levy supporting them. So much of their funding also comes from local levies, which we do not have, at Kent State Ashtabula. So that's why their tuition is less than ours. One of the reasons why their tuition is less than ours. I do worry about, you hear it all the time in the news and in the papers about kids coming out of college with such high debt. I mean, how do you recover from that? How do you move on and, buy a house and raise a family with such high debt? So we're really trying to talk with the students coming here who are interested in their parents about, start your first 2 years here, live at home. Students come here, they like it here. They can finish 4 years here before transferring if they want to transfer someplace else. But, that way you don't have to leave college with so much debt. One of the reasons our education is so affordable on this campus is the generosity of the community. Last year we offered over $300,000 in scholarships. It's based in large part because of money from the Ashtabula Area College Committee in terms of the scholarships that they provide to the campus, and other organizations in the community like the Rotaries and Kiwanis and others like that who support the campus, as well as individual donors who have created endowed scholarships. Again, per semester, we're looking at $2,832. It's a picture of Steve Arquette. Andover Bank is one of our donors in terms of our scholarships. I'm also sometimes surprised when I'm in the community that people are surprised that we actually have full-time faculty on our campus. Our faculty come from a lot of different places. They've received degrees at a number of outstanding universities across the country. We have on our campus 3 Distinguished Teaching Award recipients. I was the first one. Dr. Bice is here this morning. She was the second. And Ann Abraham teaches chemistry, and she's the 3rd Distinguished Teaching Award recipient. A number of our faculty also live in our community as well. So we're very proud of the faculty on the campus. Their focus is on teaching, not necessarily research, although we do have some faculty who do conduct research. They pride themselves on getting to know the students in their classrooms, and so they have the same credentials that the faculty have on the Kent campus. When we hire faculty, they actually have to be vetted through the departments in Kent. So if you're teaching English or you're teaching sociology, your credentials are reviewed by the Kent campus and approved by the Kent campus. So you're part of your department in Kent. So there is a connection between our campus and the other regional campuses and their departments and schools down on the Kent campus. We have about 50 full-time faculty on our campus in addition to about 50 part-time faculty. The part-time faculty primarily teach clinicals for us for our nursing and allied health students, or in the evening, work during the day, have a day job, and then come here and teach in the evening. I'm also sometimes surprised in the community when people don't realize that we also offer bachelor's degrees on our campus. We actually offer 10 bachelor's degrees currently. We do offer several associate degrees, and that's kind of been the mission of the regional campuses, but the last several years it's transitioned to offering more bachelor's degree. The most recent addition is our bachelor's degree in respiratory therapy. We do have the associate degree, and now the bachelor's in respiratory therapy is a totally online program. We're very proud of our hospitality management program, as well as English, psychology, sociology, and all the other degrees that we offer on the campus, so that students really don't need to go elsewhere to receive a bachelor's degree. If you ask people, what do you know about Kent State Ashtabula, chances are when you're in the community, they're going to say nursing. We did a feasibility study about 10 years ago, and people in the community were asked, what do you know about Kent State Ashtabula? And the answer is usually nursing. And I think if we repeated that today, they'd probably say the same thing. We are celebrating 50 years of nursing on our campus. We had a dinner to celebrate last fall, and we'll be continuing that celebration throughout the remainder of this year and into next year as well. We started the program in 1967 with 15 students. It is a very strong program. We have very high pass rates. I think our most current pass rates on our licensing exam is about 91 or 92%. We have 145 nursing students in our program currently, with over 2,500 nursing graduates. And I know there are a number of folks here this morning from ACMC, and I often say that ACMC and UH, Conneaut, and Geneva are if you look at the nurses who are employed there, my guess is probably 80 to 90% of the nurses working in those facilities are graduates of our nursing program. So the hospitals in our community would really struggle if we didn't have the nursing program to serve them in our local community. You can see a number of our graduates on the stairs there. Marlene Sartini is a graduate of our program, of our associate degree program, and she's currently working on finishing her bachelor's degree. I give her a lot of credit for pursuing that bachelor's degree in nursing. And a number of others, some of the faculty who taught in the program previously came back for our celebration. Sherry Dietrich is a graduate of our nursing program, and she is currently the director of our nursing program. I'd like to give credit to the quality of our nursing program to those who have served previously as the director. The program, some of you may remember, Estella Stavko was, Estella was from Conneaut, and she was the director of the program for a number of years and really set a firm foundation for that program. And Bert is here this morning and knows how dedicated Carol was as the director of our nursing program as well. So on the night of that celebration, we did recognize the Robert S. Morrison Foundation for their support of the nursing program, as well as the Ashtabula Area College Committee. Pictured there is Paul Reichert. Paul is usually here for the Profiles Breakfast, but he's not here this morning. I'll give him a call later today, as well as Jean Novotny. Jean Novotny was one of the first members of the nursing faculty on the campus. She was the director of the nursing program for a number of years. She retired, but is still working as a dean of nursing at a college in Texas. Our physical therapist assisting program is the largest program of its type in the state of Ohio. And even though she's not signed on the dotted line, I'm going to take a chance and announce that Tiffany Kiphart, many of you know Tiffany, is the new director of our physical therapist assisting program. We're very proud Tiffany lives in Ashtabula. If those of you go to the Art Center, Tiffany is often, you'll find her at the Art Center in plays and supporting the Art Center. So we're very pleased that she's accepted that position. Our program is a partnership with the program on the East Liverpool campus of Kent State. And so Tiffany is the director not only at Ashtabula, but also at East Liverpool. But it is the largest program in the state. One of the unique programs, and it's the only accredited program in the country that we're very proud of, is the program that takes individuals with the credential as an athletic trainer. So many of them have either bachelor's degrees or master's degrees, and they're coming here to get the associate degree as a physical therapist assistant because it makes them much more marketable in the job market. They can get jobs that they can't get as athletic trainers. So we're very proud of that program. And again, those are the students. It's a hybrid program. They come in on weekends. They're staying in our bed and breakfast and the lodge and eating, and I go to Subway or McDonald's and down in the harbor and I see them. So they're contributing to the local economy as well. We're very proud of the wine degrees. We're the only wine degrees in the state of Ohio. Our program is connected to a National Science Foundation grant. We're really pleased to have hired Ed Trebitz as our program director. Ed is an award-winning winemaker. He worked for many years for Debonnaire. We're very pleased that he's joined us. He has won a number of medals for the wine that he has produced. And I think in the coming year, we're going to have some very exciting announcements related to our wine degrees. But we're really trying to position ourselves as one of the premier programs in the country in terms of what we're doing with those particular degree programs. So we're very excited about those programs, and stay tuned for more exciting news related to those. I thought that you might be interested in terms of online degrees, or ask about how many students are really interested in online degree programs. And I was actually asked the other day, who's your competition in terms of enrollment on the campus? And I said, Kent State Geauga. And the person looked at me like, what? And what has happened is within our Kent State system, we're actually competing with each other for students, and we refer to it as the swirl. So many students, while they may take a class or two here, may be taking a class online at Geauga or taking a class online at one of the other campuses. So what we're seeing is students really kind of taking classes all throughout the system, and many of them are taking classes online. And Geauga was very aggressive at putting online courses on their books much more aggressively than some of the other campuses. I'll give you an example. We have a faculty member on the Ashtabula campus who is a very traditional academic and does not believe in online learning. So he refuses to teach his particular courses online. Well, there's a faculty member at Geauga who puts all of those courses online. And the faculty member at Ashtabula will say, I don't know why I don't have any kids in my classes. I don't know why my enrollment in my classes has dropped. Well, they're all taking classes online through Geauga. And we could debate all day about distance learning. The fact is that students are actually really looking for the convenience of online learning. I'm probably old school and prefer having students face-to-face in class, but the reality is that they're looking for the convenience of the online learning. So we have increased the number of online classes. Sometimes people will say, well, do you think the bricks and mortar will go away and someday there won't be buildings and classrooms with students? I don't think that will ever happen. I hope that never happens. And I think for some students, distance learning just doesn't work. Online learning doesn't work, but for others, it is a convenience for them. And with all of the technology that's available today, the quality, I think, has improved over the last several years. One of the things that we're looking at doing right now as a system is what we're referring to as point-to-point, so that we're going to be using the technology throughout the Kent State system so that For example, if you have some students who are interested in a particular degree, I'll use biology as an example, and we might not have enough students on the Ashtabula campus to deliver an entire degree in biology, but if we partner with some of the other campuses in our system, say you have 5 students at Ashtabula and 5 students at East Liverpool and 5 students at Trumbull, then you might be able to deliver that degree, which otherwise you wouldn't be able to offer. So we're talking more about using the technology to deliver and make some degrees and courses more accessible to students. Okay. College Credit Plus, previously known as post-secondary enrollment option. The slide says offers free college credits to eligible 7th through 12th graders, and I know Dr. Brockway is here this morning, and if there were other school superintendents there probably would be all cringing because it says offers free. We all know nothing is free, and the reality is that those high schools, those school systems really bear the cost of college credit plus programs. You'll also notice that it says 7th to 12th grade. It used to just be high schools, and we've had discussions over the years on the campus about having students who are even high school age in some of the classes. And so we've been kind of careful about advising students into, while they may have, the intelligence to be able to complete college level work, they may not have the maturity to be in certain classes. Sociology might be an example, or some of the psychology classes. So we've been very careful to kind of advise parents and students about what courses their students are signing up for. I think there's still a lot of discussion about our 7th and 8th graders really ready to do college level work as well. I know on the Geauga campus we have a young man who's in the 7th or 8th grade who is in College Credit Plus taking physics, and he's being successful. We really try to encourage the students here to take the core classes, kind of those liberal education courses that are going to transfer and get them somewhere no matter where they're going to go to college. But we have a number of students who have actually completed their associate degrees prior to graduating from high school on our campus and have gotten a great start. One of our shining examples is Tim Z. Tim graduated from Edgewood. He actually received his associate degree before he graduated from Edgewood. So he earned his associate degree here. He went on to the Kent campus. He's completing his bachelor's degree. He has gotten a full ride to Rochester Institute of Technology. And so he's going to be starting next fall on a dual master's PhD program. So we're really proud of Tim for everything that he's accomplished so far, and we're looking for great things to come. But he got his start as a CCP student here on the campus. We have had over 2,000 graduates in the past 5 years. We have a number of employers here with us this morning. Many of our students are what we call place-bound, so that they do graduate from the campus, they live in our community, they stay in our community. A number of local employers employing our graduates, but then we also have students who move on, and a number of our graduates working downtown at UH or the Cleveland Clinic. We've had a number of students who've started their career at the Lodge at Geneva and have gone on to work for Delaware North and other sites. And so we're very proud of the fact that we are providing local employers with a skilled workforce. We're trying to be good community citizens on the campus. We have a number of articulation agreements with ATEC so that students can transition seamlessly from ATEC to Kent State Ashtabula. We're partnering, and I know Rachel is here this morning from, there she is in the back. Rachel is a graduate of our hospitality management program. She's now the director of junior achievement, and so we're partnering with junior achievement to support their initiatives as well. We have a number of student clubs on our campus, so students have the opportunity to participate in many of the clubs are associated with the degree program, so the Student Nurses Association, the Physical Therapist program has a student organization, and they really do try to give back. We have a very active Justice Studies Club on the campus, so they do a lot of community service projects and give back to the community. Our AITP program, our computer-related technology program, also does a lot to give back to the community. We have partnered with the Coldwater Rescue Team. We kind of drill with them down at Red Brook, and then they come to the campus and use our human patient simulator. And then, of course, the campus is very generous in giving back to things like the Heart Walk, which is held on our campus in the fall, United Way and CDC. The campus receives a great deal of support from the Ashtabula Area College Committee. The members are listed there. I know Laura obviously is here this morning. Marie is here. Ryan Richards is going to become the president, and I'm really looking forward to working with Ryan in that capacity. I'd also like to add that Rick Sellup, many of you know Rick. Rick serves on the Kent State University Foundation Board, so we have representation on that foundation board as well by Rick's attendance at those meetings. Campus improvements, so what's next in terms of capital improvements on the campus? If you, when you leave today, if you'll notice the windows that are on what we call C wing, which is the primary classroom wing here that runs north and south and from Main Hall, they're the original windows in this building, and they're not, obviously not energy efficient, and if you look at them from the outside, they and you can see them out through the courtyard as well. We're really hoping to replace those windows this summer. We got the bids. Unfortunately, the bids came in really high, so we're going to have to figure out how we're going to finance that. But the plan is to replace the windows in C Wing this summer and then renovate C Wing next summer. I think many of you have seen the renovations that we did to A Wing, which is the wing on the north side of the building. That kind of started it all for us. Our old science labs were in the north side of the building. And then when we built Morrison Hall, that area was left empty, and so we kind of demoed it and then rebuilt it into general classrooms, and we need to do the same down on C Wing. Just to give you an idea of how much projects like that cost, renovating the first and second floor of C Wing, we're projecting is probably around $4 to $5 million. And you know, it's just kind of gutting it. Actually, it's not even really gutting it. It's just adding the technology and you know, updating those classrooms to meet the teaching needs that we have with our students today. We need to renovate the auditorium. I know many of you have been in the auditorium for various events. It's not ADA compliant. It is, the seats, many of them are kind of dilapidated and just really needs a refresh. We would keep the auditorium with seating as it is now, but we would then start using it more so for classroom space as well, for larger classrooms. So we're hoping to get that done in the next couple years as well. We would like to make an addition onto the north side of Main Hall. I think, you know, when you first come to the campus, you kind of like, well, where's the front door? Is it this door? Is it that door? Where's the front door? And so we really would like to create more of an entryway on the north side of the camp of this building to kind of tell people they've arrived. And so when you come into the building, I noticed it this morning, people probably wonder, why is there such kind of a gap between the parking lot and the entrance to the north side of the building? Well, we did that purposely because we hope to add on to the north side of the building in the next few years as well. At some point in time, we will need to renovate the library. Right now, the sign in front of that building says library. I think at some point in time, the building will say something like academic center, and there'll be a library contained in that building. But we all know that libraries and books have really changed the last several years. And so we're really using our library right now for students to come and study in small groups. They come there for tutoring, supplemental instruction. So we're already kind of making that transition to use the library in different ways. We're holding some classes in the library as well. It's somewhat a blessing and a curse to have a whole building that's a library. The other campuses don't have that, but I do think we will be renovating it. I would think between, somewhere in the next 3 to 5 years, and really kind of changing that library so that it will become more vibrant in terms of student utilization. Probably the most frequent question I get asked in the community is, when are you going to build dorms? If you look at a master plan that was done a number of years ago on the campus, there's actually housing situated across the street because the university and the Ashtabula College Committee own property across the street. I would say that as long as I'm the dean, there won't be housing across the street. When you put housing on a campus, you get all sorts of additional I'll say challenges in terms of what do the students do on the weekends, where do they eat, where do they go for fun. It just adds a whole new element. There are clearly safety issues in terms of the mental health needs that our students have today, and so there's just a whole lot of challenges presented with housing. The thing that but we do get calls all the time for students who are interested in attending the campus, who have a desire to enroll in some of our, especially some of our unique programs on the campus. And we're really actually exploring some opportunities. We've had discussions with a number of developers. For me, the most intriguing one is building some sort of housing that could be flipped, so that in the summertime, when our tourist season is high in Ashtabula, it could be utilized for, fishermen or people who just are staying in our community on the weekends in the summertime. But then when, Labor Day hits and everybody kind of scatters, we could then use it for student housing during the academic year. So that's an idea that is of interest. It would be located somewhere other than the campus, and it would be operated by someone other than the campus administration. We're also kind of exploring some other opportunities with housing that's currently available. Students are already, as I said, kind of staying in bed and breakfast when they're here for some of our programs on the weekends. We do already have some students who have come here from a distance. I know we have a student from the Lodi area who is living, renting a home in the community as well. So we do get calls and requests for housing, so we are exploring that. And as I said earlier, our enrollment is down, so one of the, I think, opportunities to increase enrollment would be by adding housing on the campus. So we're really kind of looking at exploring ways to meet the needs of the students who are interested in coming here. So we have a lot on our plate in terms of the renovations that we need to do to the campus. I'm very proud of the renovations that we've done so far. We've really been good stewards of the campus. The Commons has made a huge difference to our students. Again, those of you who've been around know that the furniture that was in the Commons was the original furniture from the 1960s, and the students are really enjoying the space that they have now, as well as our student services area that we refer to as a one-stop. Students can come in, go to our student services area, see their academic advisor, get help with financial aid, all in one place so they know where they go to get help. So the changes that we've made to the campus, and of course the addition of the Robert S. Morrison Health and Science Building, again, with the cadaver lab, the technology in that building is actually, we have much nicer facilities than they currently have even on the Kent campus. One of the things that the faculty and others who come from the Kent campus or some of the other regional campuses will notice that something unique to Kent State Ashtabula versus the other regional campuses is that our community really feels ownership of this campus. I think it's the Profiles Breakfast is an example, and there are other, we open our meeting rooms to the community. I think the community feels welcome and comfortable here. I mean, clearly the capital campaign we had in the community when we opened the Health and Science Building, the support that was demonstrated in the community for this campus really is very unique to Ashtabula, and we're very grateful for the support that we've received from the community over the years and continue to receive from you. And so I always, the president of the university is coming up at the end of the month, but one of the things that the administration at Kent always notices is that there really is such ownership of our community, of this campus. And so again, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for the support that you've given us over the years. Okay. Again, thank you for your attention this morning. I'm always happy to share information about all the exciting things that are going on. We have a lot more coming up that we'll be sharing with you as we're able to. But again, thank you. Looking at Laura, next month is SCORE. Okay. That's another program that's fairly new that we're offering in our community. It's been in existence on the in other communities for some time. It's actually a program where retirees work with new entrepreneurs to help them kind of find funding and ways to start up a business. So that will be, I think, really interesting as well. So go out and enjoy the sunshine. And again, thank you for being here this morning.